a Spider-Man fan. I remember watching the original Spider-Man and knowing the song Spider-Man. My favorite one, although as much as I like that early one, it's absolutely ridiculous and over the top. If you're not familiar with that, just go look up the original Spider-Man cartoon. I like the 1990s version of Spider-Man, which had crossovers with Doctor Strange, with the X-Men, with Punisher, with Blade, with all of them basically, and even like Captain America and all that, and the Fantastic Four. I really like that one. So I'm a Spider-Man fan, but lately Spider-Man has opened itself up to the idea of multiverse kind of thing. What do you have? Welcome to the Spider-Verse. I was almost confusing it there with the new Doctor Strange movie, which I haven't seen yet. Welcome to the Spider-Verse, which introduced a whole bunch of different Spider-Men. Then you've got Spider-Man No Way Home, which, again, I haven't watched yet. I own it now. I just haven't watched it yet. Which brings in other Spider-Mans. I know it makes the other two Spider-Mans movies, brings them in as well. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as well, which I also enjoyed their movies. Spider-Man 3, not so much, and I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 fell into that same trap, but yeah, it's just kind of the way it is. And so they're going to introduce a new Spider-Man now. So what is this new Spider-Man? Well, let me give you this. It's Disney. Think about that for a second. Think about Disney for a second. Spider-Man, Disney. What has Disney been doing the last while? What was the big hubbub over Lightyear? Well, let's go and take a look. Marvel to unveil gay Spider-Man in Disney-owned company's latest LGBTQ nod. That's right. Spider-Man's going gay. Welcome to the multi-gayverse, because they're going to bring in one that's gay. Let's just go through the article here very quickly. Spider-Man is coming out of the closet as a laced-garbed, effeminate crime fighter in Marvel Comics' latest genufluation to the LGBTQ community. Okay, that was a hard sentence to read. Let's try that again. Spider-Man is coming out of the closet as a lace-garbed, effeminate crime fighter in Marvel's Comics' latest genuflexion to the LGBT community. The Disney-owned company is about to introduce a gay version of the iconic webmaster, who will appear in the upcoming comic book issue Edge of the Spider-Verse. See what I mean? It's just basically going to make one gay. The news was revealed on Twitter by Marvel writer Steve Fox. Surprise! I had the huge gay honor of helping to co-create Web Weaver, who will make his debut in Edge of the Spider-Verse #5 this September, Fox tweeted. Now, I don't read comics that often, but I'm sorry. When I look at that, I don't even... What is with the costumes lately? I just recently watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and when Falcon, spoiler alert here, but really shouldn't be no surprise if you're familiar with it, Falcon becomes kind of the new Captain America. And he gives his speech kind of in the last episode there. It's the outfit that ruined it for me. Look, it doesn't look good. Can't they just design things anymore? So that's kind of the Spider-Man there. So in a separate tweet, Fox assured writers that gay Spider-Man won't be a proxy for all gays. Okay, I'm not even sure what that really means, but he says, something I realized immediately when conceiving Web Weaver is that he can't and shouldn't represent all gay men, Fox wrote. No singular character can. His fearlessly femme identity is central to who he is, but it's not the story. Actually, I almost probably guarantee it is. It probably is. And now I'm never going to read it because, as I said, I don't spend money on comic books and I don't read comic books that often. Some people do. Good for you. Go ahead. It says, which you can experience for yourself in September. I really hope not, and I hope they never bring it into video because I never want to see it. It's bad enough things I see. Fans on Twitter were not all on board for a same-sex Spidey. Dude, why do you have to ruin Spider-Man? Tweeted Eduardo Lanza. Stan Lee said not to make him gay. You're doing something out of someone else's mind. Changing a few things and calling it an original character. Don't you brainstorm before these kinds of things? Another one, a gay Spider-Man, tweeted Misty Morgan. The large majority of Americans do not support this lifestyle and won't support the body of work you are presenting. And so here, this is again, he quotes Eric July, says the next unnecessary tokenized Spider-Man character to be announced for the upcoming unnecessary Edge of Spider-Verse is the first gay Spider-Man known as Webweaver. Creator Steve Fox calls it a huge gay honor. Check out the full clip now live on YouTube, and you can check it there. But you wonder, why is this happening? This can't be beneficial for Disney to cater to this. In fact, when you look at, let's go the last paragraph here. Parent company Disney, which bought Marvel in 2009 for $4 billion, recently injected the gay agenda into its latest Toy Story film, portraying a same-sex kiss between two animated female characters. The scene has caused the film to be banned in 14 countries and may have contributed to its dismal box office performance in the U.S. Now, if you're not familiar with the thing behind Lightyear, Disney originally included a same-sex female kiss in Lightyear. It was removed. It was put onto the cutting room floor as unnecessary, but then with what was going on with Florida and DeSantis, they decided to put it back in as a statement, which then got it banned in 14 countries, and China has refused, which is a major market, refused to show the film unless they cut the scene again, and it ended up bombing at the box office. So why is it that they're continuing to push it? That's the question. Why is it that Disney is continuing to push these things? Because they're not making money on it. Now, they made a huge investment and profit in Marvel, but why are they continuing to push the LGBTQ, which is continuing to lose them money? The shares are down. Tourism is down. Why? Why is it? Well, let's work with something here. Disney has very deep pockets, and I mean very deep. And if they can play a very long game on this, and what's the long game? Continue to put it in front of you until you just accept it. That's what it is. Continue to put it in front of you until you just accept it. Think about it. This is why language has changed. And I don't mean languages in our culture. I mean language on TV. Where if you watch shows that word language that used to be beeped out is no longer bleeped out. Why? Because it's become so commonplace. It's appearing everywhere. It appears in games, it appears in movies, it appears in television shows. Even now when you watch something that's PG, there's swear words in it. And they're like, so what? It's like, no, you just become so customized to it. What is Disney doing? Disney's just playing the long game. This is why they put it in absolutely everything. This is why it's everywhere in their products. Because they're trying to push it. That's really what it is. That's what they're going for. But they're underestimating something. And it was Michael Knowles who said this, and I agree with him. They're misunderstanding tolerance and acceptance. They're pushing past the tolerance. Now, what is a tolerance? Define tolerance here for a second. Tolerance is actually an engineering term, and it means how far something can bend before it breaks. That's really what it is. How far something can bend before it breaks. Disney is continuing trying to push these things and not realizing that the tolerance for a lot of people has already gone past its breaking point. And now they're snapping back. That's what's happening. But they're continuing to do it. Why? Because they're continuing to try to push this until the tolerance level of people becomes so accepting that they just give in and say whatever. This is why it's being pushed everywhere. This is why you see it pushed in our society. This is why it's being pushed in schools and in laws. It's being pushed even within in the church realm. Why? This is critical theory. You want to change the culture Marxism. You change the robes. You change the judges, you change the academics, and you change the clergy. You get those three, you can start to change the culture. And that's what they're pushing for. That's what they're pushing for. And so this latest Spider-Man is going to be in a version of a Webweaver, a gay, effeminate Spider-Man. That's what it's coming down to. So as much as they're like, hey, we don't stop stereotyping gays, they're turning around and making a stereotypical gay Spider-Man, making them super effeminate. From the way they look, from the way they stand, from the clothing, the whole bit. Why? It's because in the end, it's you will accept this. You'll just give in. They're basically playing a long game trying to wear you down. And the only way that it can actually stop is if the culture itself, if society itself says, no, we're just going to cut you off. We're going to shut this down. And don't bring it up. Hey, I just want to thank you for watching. If you like the content, why not subscribe, like, tell a friend. Get the word out. Also, if you want more content, you can follow me on YouTube, on Rumble, or you can even download the Foundation with Steve Teed podcast and Take Me on the Go, found on almost all podcast apps. This couldn't happen without you, and I encourage you, build on a strong foundation.